Hi, I'm Trish. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If you're new here, I truly hope that you find something here today that means something to you and you find some substance to this content. My channel is That's So Trishy, and one of the things I like to talk about is how my life didn't really begin as far as happiness and peace until I was over 40. And now that I'm happy, I really find a lot of enjoyment and fun out of finding and sharing tips for a healthier lifestyle and to help us women and men try to learn how to age gracefully, but find tips and tricks that make us feel better, whether it's skin tips, beauty, fashion. But my second to last video, I touched on something kind of unusual that I just kind of didn't even plan on sharing, but it just came out. And I had a video. If you want to check it out, you can look in some of my previous videos, and I'll try to link it on this video. But it talked about my battle as a young girl and even up into adulthood with suicide ideations and depression. And today's video is just going to touch on one little key in that. And one of the things that I found was detrimental in that battle that I had was lack of confidence and low self-esteem. I believe that lack of confidence is a killer. It's just like a secret killer that so many women and men battle with. So I don't have all the answers, but I just want to talk to you today briefly about some key points to think about, maybe help you make a difference and turn some of the negative aspects in your life. Maybe it could possibly turn it around. So first of all, when we think about confidence, I think people confuse confidence with humility. I think those of you who do know me might agree. I believe I'm one of the most humble people you will ever meet. I don't have lofty thoughts about myself. I don't think I'm the most beautiful or intelligent or gifted person in the world. But I have come to find at 51 years old that I actually kind of like who I am now, which is crazy because most of my life I've hated myself. Truly, I have truly hated myself. In that other video, if you watched it, I touched on the point of, I remember being an 8-year-old girl and faking sick at school because I went in the bathroom and I looked in the mirror and I was devastated at what I saw. I don't believe that it was that I was so vain. I think my self-worth was so tied to my perception of what I look like. And I would literally fake sick because when I looked in the mirror, I didn't want to go out of the bathroom back to class because I was so humiliated with the way I looked. And that led me down such a devastating road. So what I want to impress on you guys today is how crucial it is that you overcome that. Now, I think there's two components to that. I think one is a spiritual, emotional, mental kind of side, and I think another is a physical side, and that's part of what my channel is about, trying to be the best that we can be. On the spiritual side, on the emotional side, the mental side, the internal side, the side that is most important, we have to come to a place in our life where we accept who we are, flaws and all. I have so many flaws, I could list them to you for hours. But at the same time, at 51, I've actually started to embrace a few things that I like about myself. And I try to concentrate on that. And if there are things that I don't like about myself, I examine them. Some people have told me, you're too hard on yourself. I don't think so. I examine the things that I don't like, and I think, okay, is this something that I could fix physically, surgically? Is it possible? Or is it just something that's gonna be, and I need to embrace it? I don't know what made me think about this, but today I'm thinking, okay, my roots are showing. I am a real blonde, but as I've gotten older, it's kind of turned into an ugly, dirty dishwater blonde. And so when I get my highlights and lowlights, the highlights, when it starts growing in the dark, I feel like my hairdresser can tell you, I say this all the time, I'm supposed to see her next week. I feel like right now I have hoe hair. No, I don't know if that's appropriate to say or not, but I don't like this hair. And so what I'm going to do about it is next week I'm going to go see my dear friend Kaylin. She's going to fix my hoe hair and give me some highlights and lowlights to make a blend together. So pretty simplistic example, but things that I do to try to look at physical aspects that I don't think. Back to the internal aspects. If you don't work on this, it will destroy you. I remember it was so severe to me as a young girl. I couldn't have a relationship. Even as a young girl, when you first start doing little fake dating in grade school and all that, I just felt so unworthy. And I remember the first guy that I thought really liked me, I think I was in junior high and he was a freshman in high school, and some friends came and told me, and I was a cheerleader, and they had said he had seen me at a game and he thought I was really cute. I still remember just being mortified, thinking, if he finds out I'm really not cute. I had zero confidence. And so what did I do about that? And that guy was really cute, I gotta be honest. I did nothing. I went to a high school ball game and I remember passing him in the stairwell and I just looked down. And he probably thought I was the biggest snob in the world. And he didn't know that I was so humiliated and had such lack of self-confidence. I just avoided him. And so just a small example, but that began to feed into my life. I remember another time as a young adult, I was seeing a guy, and I will never forget, he said something so impactful to me. He said, I really like you, but your low self-esteem and lack of confidence is a huge turn-off to me, so I'm not going to date you anymore. And I remember being dumbfounded thinking, well, thanks, that helped my self-confidence. And I kind of made a joke about it, but that stuck with me. So thankfully that wasn't somebody I was supposed to be with, but again, that was ruling my life. One of the saddest parts of my life, and I'm just going to be really raw here with you guys, and it's kind of hard sometimes to talk about your imperfections, but my hope is that this will encourage other people. When I was really young and 20 years old, I started dating a really nice guy, and I made some mistakes, and I guess it's more accepted today, but I still don't believe it's God's plan for us. I became pregnant. I was absolutely devastated. And we'd only been seeing each other a short time. Just to clarify for anybody who's watching, this was especially distressing to me because I was not a person who ran around. And I'm not judging you if you were, because people have different sins, people have different shortcomings. But I wasn't that girl, but yet I did fall and I did succumb to those desires, and I got caught. I got pregnant. And so I remember being devastated, but he was such a great person. When I discussed it with him, he said, that's fine because I love you and I was going to marry you anyway. Well, you'd think that I would just have embraced that. But I can tell you that we did get married and we had our first child, who I'm so, so grateful for and blessed to have. But my short marriage to him of 5 years, the whole time in my head was just a voice. He doesn't really love you. He only married you because you got pregnant. He doesn't really love you. And that insecurity fed into me so much that I ended up doing some horrible things and making horrible mistakes, and I ruined that marriage. And I take responsibility for those dumb decisions. I was 23, 24 years old, pretty young and dumb, but that led to so much destruction and so much heartbreak. So you can kind of see the pattern here. My insecurity was just killing me, one thing after another. Finally, I'm going to fast forward because we have to keep this video short. Finally, in my late 30s, I had been through several divorces. I ended up being a single mother for 9 years. And when I was 41, I met my husband now of 9 years. And we got married when I was 42. And I shared with this in another video. And this is a story for another day. It's a beautiful story of how we met. And I got to walk down the aisle as a re-virgin. Like a re-virgin. Again, a lot of TMI. I'm just opening up with you guys. But after that time in my life at 42, slowly my self-confidence and my self-worth began to grow. Part of it I highly credit to my husband, because his love has been so unconditional to me. I never met someone who I received that and accepted that. So that's been a huge part. But the other part, honestly, has been a lot of aging. We talk about in society how aging is like a faux pas thing. People are, oh my gosh, I'm turning 40. One of my best birthdays was 40. My happiest decade so far was my 40s. That's why my whole blog and videos and theme is about life starts after 40. But I began to slowly develop this self-confidence. And the biggest impact in all of this was, I do believe in my creator. I've never doubted that I have a creator that designed me and chose this hair. Maybe not this whole hair, but he chose my hair, he chose my pale skin, he chose my blue eyes. So I never have doubted that. But I think one of the other gifts he gave me is through the love of my husband and through the experience of age, he began to show me my self-worth. But I began praying and studying and finding out who I really am. A creator of this entire universe chose my DNA. He chose to make me and develop me. One of the things that's hard is when we're here on this earth, he gives us the freedom to make our own decisions. I've said this before, and so a lot of times we make huge mistakes, as I did most of my younger years. But he also tells us that if you seek him, he will find you, he will answer you. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're on this insecurity journey and you think that you're not worthy, and you think you're so ugly, and you think no one's ever going to love you, start asking your creator to help you find that self-esteem again, to help see yourself as he sees you. And I believe that he will come through. I believe he will start helping you with the process to learn to believe that. So that's the most important thing. The last part I want to talk about is the physical aspect. And you can disagree with me if you want, but I don't think we can deny that. We are in physical bodies. We're like vessels, we're souls, but we're in physical bodies. And everything on this earth is going to age and be destroyed eventually, and it's just a fact. And we are too. Now you could be really depressed about that, except that I do believe that God has created a paradise for us if we love him and accept him. And so this isn't all there is. That's one of my big themes in life. I want to live life to the fullest here. I want to be all I can be. I want to do all those things. I have a crazy bucket list, but I have so much peace in knowing this isn't it. This is not all there is. But while we are here, I want to live as happy as I can. And like I said, this is a vessel. I always liken us to cars. If you don't keep up your cars, they're going to wear down. If you don't have the energy or the care to worry about that, then that's fine. That's your prerogative. More power to you if you're happy like that. But I find that me and a lot of women and men, we want to try to look as youthful as we can, and we want to try to preserve our youth. So that's why I joke about so many of the things that I do on this channel, and talk about things like my whole hair. So just a couple tips physically for you. One thing that I found was very helpful to me, and you may think this is crazy, but video yourself. Turn on your camera and video yourself for a couple minutes when nobody else is around. And most of us cringe because most people don't want to hear the voice like on a recorder. How do you think I felt first time I heard this voice? I knew I had a little bit higher voice. I didn't know that I sound like Snow White. Someday my prince will come. How'd you like to live with this voice? One time in college, a professor told me that I need to go to speech therapist to learn to speak differently. But if you record yourself, I think sometimes we see a perspective that we don't always see even in the mirror. So when I first started doing this YouTube channel, I would look at my videos and I'd be like, oh, girl, those eyebrows are gnarly. Or I would think, girl, your 80s hair has got to go. So just a personal tip, I think if you video yourself, it gives you a perspective on what you really look like and what you sound like. It can also help you discover idiosyncrasies, like if you say like all the time, or if you do a twitch all the time. Again, I want you to love and embrace yourself, but there are things that you can see and identify and think, maybe I need to. So there are just some physical things that we can do. So we've covered some of the fundamentals about how the lack of confidence and self-esteem can destroy us. I think it's so under talked about. Is that a way to describe it? I know women that I can think of some particular ones right now that I'm not going to call them out, but are some of the most intelligent women I know. I know another lady that is the most faith-filled person I know, but their self-esteem is so low you can't even give them a compliment. Have you ever met somebody like that? When you give them a compliment, it's like they're too embarrassed to receive it. Or they think if they receive it, it makes them seem arrogant. I think that's a real common thing. And guys, if somebody takes the time to give you a compliment, just say thank you. Let that absorb and maybe give you a little bit of self-confidence. Take it for what they meant it. They meant it to make you feel good. When you reject that, you reject them trying to make you feel good, and you lose out on that boost that was meant for you. I think some people give those of us like myself who like to look beautiful and think about trying to preserve our youth, I think they give us a bad rap sometimes and think, oh, you're so vain. But I don't really feel like it's vanity unless, again, you are obsessing on it. I feel like women have wanted to be beautiful and attractive from the beginning of all time. If you look back in the Bible and the Old Testament, they prepared women sometimes for a year with oils and beauty treatments. And maybe that's a little much because we don't have a year to do that. But I think that does speak to women throughout time have had this desire to be beautiful. I feel like it's a God-given desire that we have. So I think the key is a balance, just like anything else in life. You can't obsess and think about this all the time, but it's something that women love to do. And I feel like our Creator has designed that in us. He loves beauty. Think about the peacock. You're like, what? The peacock is a very interesting animal, but when you think about when he spreads his feathers, how beautiful he is. So God obviously loves beauty, and I think he's put that desire for beauty in us. Something else I think is sometimes people in the beauty industry get a bad rap. I'm sure that there are some out there that they're obsessed with it. And some of you may be thinking of some people that I'm thinking of right now. You look at their Instagram and you're like, that's all they talk about. But I was really encouraged recently. I was on YouTube and I was watching different videos, and I came across just one of the sweetest girls. There is a gal from my local hometown that I raised my kids in. Not the one that I grew up, but I raised my kids for 20-something years in a little local hometown. And one of my daughter's friends has just had the most amazing career and been so blessed. She moved away a few hours from here, and she just has become a very well-known and successful model and Instagram influencer. I was watching videos the other day, and I actually came across a video of somebody interviewing her when she first made the move and was starting to have some of that success. And I was so impressed by what this young girl said. She gives so much credit to God for her beauty, so to speak. I don't think she said it like that, but for her success and her beauty. And she said she was laying one time praying and talking to God and thinking about it, and she just started from the top of her head to the ends of her toes thanking him. And she'd say, thank you, God, for my hair that people seem to really love. And she has the most beautiful hair I've ever seen. But she'd say, thank you, God, for the hair that people seem to love. And thank you for my skin that you gave me. Thank you for my eyes. And she went down head to toe and started listing things on her body that she was grateful. And that resonated with me so strongly that, number one, this kid, I'm sorry, he's not a kid now, but this young girl got it, that she acknowledged her creator's hand in all this, and she was able to funnel that success into some beautiful self-esteem, but not arrogance. And so I started kind of doing that and started saying, thank you, God, for my whole hair. No, I didn't say hoe hair, but I started going head to toe, and even if it was an area that I didn't like, I have a lot of insecurity about my skin because I spent too much time in the sun, I would still thank him for my skin and thank him for the beautiful time that I had out in the sun, but I would thank him anyway. And so I just thought that was kind of a neat story because it really represents the right focus on beauty and giving acknowledgement where it's due, and that it's okay to receive the compliments that she does. So we are going to close this video out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think we've just scratched the surface on this topic, but we're also going to talk more about confidence and self-esteem, but we're also going to continually talk about tips and tricks and fun things we can do to feel better about ourselves. So one of the things I want to mention, have you seen my nails? Have you noticed my nails? I hope you've noticed my nails because I'm really picky about my nails. So what I decided to do was I reached out to my friend Kelly, who's one of about 6 people that are representatives of Color Street, and I said, hey, I'm kind of getting tired of my French manicure. I will always be a French manicure girl because I just think it's classic and classy. But I said, I want to try something. I love bling. I'm a blingy girl, if you can't tell. But I reached out to Kelly and I said, I want to try some color nail strips. So I ordered Tokyo Lights. I don't know if you guys can see those at all. I'm still learning my camera. But they're just a really pretty kind of neutral glitter, so it's not like blah. But I think they're very classy and still very girly, and I love them. So I decided in the next few videos I'm going to reach out to some of my friends who are representatives of all kinds of different beauty or health products and ask them if they would like to have me sample something, and I will mention it to my viewers to give you guys some opportunities to explore some new products. So Kelly has given us a deal, and I have to put on my glasses to make sure that I read her text message correctly. So I'm going to put in the description box below. So anyway, I'm going to put 2 links to Kelly's Color Street. One of them is her website, and you can order in the privacy of your own home. She's not going to harass you. Nobody's going to give you a sales pitch. Just order them and they come to your house. She also has a VIP Facebook group. If you want to sit back and just do nothing and watch, she shows lots of different colors. She shows some specials, and you can just be a stalker of her Facebook group. But if you join her Facebook group and you do decide to get some color strips from her, if you purchase at least $25 worth of nail strips, she's going to give you $5 off. So that's a pretty good savings. There's only one catch. You have to put code, you can just type code That's So Trishy, meaning you found out about this and watched my video. So you don't have to talk other than that. You don't have to say anything. Just type code That's So Trishy and you're going to get $5 off $25. So Kelly, thank you for giving us that deal. Hey, can I get in on that deal? I forgot to ask you that. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video today. We just scratched the surface on, I think, a big topic that needs to be further explored. And for sure, we're going to talk about lots more beauty tips, fashion, and aging the best we can products together and explore them. So if you would consider giving today's video a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're not familiar with it, people like me who love to talk for a living, that's how we actually succeed on YouTube. I didn't know how it worked, but YouTube looks at our views, our thumbs up, our subscribers, and our comments. So if you guys would consider that, I would appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Come back and join me for another video. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, I'm Trish. Welcome back to my welcome content and substance that means something to you.